Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Two Brothers channel. I'm one brother.
And I'm the second brother. Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Two Brothers channel. This is going to be a deep one tonight. So, Mr. Phil, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Clay. One day I can just see us on stage and people will be saying, I'm one brother. And other people say, and I'm the other brother. Anyway, it is what it is. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be looking at this topic. And the topic is, dig your well before you thirst. Dig your well before you thirst. This is a very deep topic. And we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. But we're going to be touching on several things, and we're going to be looking at things from the past, present, and future. So what does it mean to dig your well before you thirst? Exactly what it's saying. It is saying there is no use you suddenly getting shovel out, running to the land. Why? Because you're thirsty. You now want to start digging a well. Do you know how deep some well have to be before you dig? Before you hit water? Let me repeat that. Do you know how deep some well have to be before you reach water? So you can't say, oh, it's going to take me 2 hours to dig, then I'll hit water. Oh, it's going to take me 1 week. I've actually been fortunate, and I'm saying fortunate, to actually draw water from wells in Nigeria in the past, growing up. And some wells are so deep. My goodness. Sometimes, as a kid, I used to think, man, I better not fall into this. So if I fall, I'll be in space. Because you will be lowering the bucket and 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 lowering the bucket, and the rope is still long. Okay, now you get the analogy. Now, the key is this. Best case scenario is you dig that well way before your thirst. That's what the wise person does. Now, look at Nigeria right now. A lot of people, if your strategy is, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get my degree, and I'm going to get my job, and I'm going to be good for life. Unfortunately, you have failed. Exactly. What are your thoughts?
It's amazing what you just said there, because as you were saying that, I was thinking about most people that start their career or their education course. By the time they finish the education course, the industry has moved on and has made their course null and void. So, and as we know, educational system in Africa is not adaptive enough to follow the trends. They will just teach you what they teach you. When you get to the job market where there's no jobs waiting for you, then you will find out that, you have been cheated. But, when you say dig your well before you thirst, it takes a lot of energy to dig wells. So if you're thirsty, you're already drained. And then you have to expend the energy of digging and digging and digging. You're not going to make it.
They'll see a skeleton with a shovel like this.
They lies the digger.
He started digging. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. We're laughing, but it is his life we're talking about here.
And there are so many wells we can talk about. You know, we talk about the wells of jobs, replacing your jobs before they let you go. You know, because somebody's gonna get sacked. Either you sack them or they sack you, but somebody's getting sacked.
Definitely.
The wells of expenses that you might have coming up. So let's take a trip.
Like
you want to splash out somewhere. You know, those expenses that, or even an operation, it might be a health issue. It's good to have that money there, just in case, man. You know, and another one is trips. You might want to travel somewhere. This is not even about the money. It's about, maybe you want to learn the local language. So you want to know that by the time you get to that place, you can speak to them, not in English, but in their local language.
Wow.
I started learning a new language, because like all languages, when you start, you're excited and then it gets boring. So hopefully it won't happen this time, with this new language I'm learning. But, it's very key that, you set yourself these goals, because the goals you set yourself would determine the direction you put your energy into. And it's good to do it not when you're thirsty, but when you're full, when you're healthy, when you're strong. Digging the wells. Back to you, sir.
The story that comes to mind, personal story, is when I first ventured into making money from sales. And I realized that I left a job and then I went into sales. And Mr. Kunle, it was not easy. The reason why, I analyzed it later, the reason why it was not easy is that every time I'm trying to sell the product or services that I was moving then, I think it was insurance. They could see on my face that in my mind, I'm thinking, please buy because I need to pay my rent. They could smell the desperation on me. Of course, nobody bought. Nobody buys from a desperate man. Everybody buys from the man that looks like, and if you can smell, if they can smell from you that look, you buy you don't buy you, I don't care. That, funny enough, is the person that people buy from.
Yeah.
The guy that comes and goes, I beg. Everybody run. I learned that lesson then. You know what I had to do, Mr. Clay?
What's up?
I quit that sales job. And I made myself a promise. I said, I'm coming back. But this time that I'll come back comfortably. I'll come back chilled and relaxed. I will not be needy. I will not be thirsty. I will come back when I'm good and ready. So again, what that story taught me is that if you don't dig your well before you thirst, you actually sabotage your success in whatever you want to, and whatever endeavor that you want to do, because you'll be too desperate. Your motive will not be pure. Everybody can smell it. And you know what they can smell? Something ain't right. And what is not right? Your rent is due. Creditors are calling. Pressure is on. The only way you can solve that is to make sure that you position yourself before you take on something like that, where you're going to be in a position where you're going to need people to buy you, your service, or your product, is you need to make sure you dug that well before. You got a reservoir. So that by the time you get there, you're not thirsty. You're chilled. I got discovered. Mr. Clay, what are your thoughts?
Wow. I remember doing sales as well. And, we came out with different lessons. I mean, I walked the streets of London there was a hole under my shoe.
Yeah.
And I didn't know there was a hole under my shoe till I was walking and I was feeling wetness in my shoe. There was a little bit of, I think it was raining that day, and I could feel like my whole feet was wet. That's inside the socks, so the socks was soaked, and that's me, wow. Then I took the shoe, I turned it upside down, I could see a hole in the shoe. That's from walking up and down, making no sales. And there was a lot of lessons I learned that year, because I quit a very nice, cozy banking job to go into sales because my friend at the time, Nick Brunos, convinced me that I could make more money in one day than I'm making in 1 week. The maths, when it comes to sales, the maths is the easiest bit to do. When you're calculating how much you can make, selling how much, that is the easiest bit. You calculate that one all day long. When it comes to actually going out there and making those sales so that those maps work, that's a totally different ballgame. And I remember I was so depressed that year, so broke and so depressed. And I had all the motivational books, I had all the motivational tapes, and I was like, what am I going to do now? But Nick being Nick, he came and he said, you know what, we'll go out together. Don't go on your own anymore. Let us go together. And what Mr. Phil said about, digging your well, we were thirsty when we were digging our wells that time. We were thirsty. And we were dying digging it. And we got together in the same hole, digging it together. And, and as funny enough, because it was two of us doing the same well, we wasn't that we became millionaires. We didn't make it. We probably just made enough to be able to come back with not big zero. We made some sales. It was enough because even the sales that we made was 50-50. And that time, most of the time, Nick would be doing all the talking. And I would sit there listening to him, nodding away, because I was done. I was done. There was no talking coming out of me. I was done. This was a bad idea. I would quit a good job to go out there on the streets trying to sell something that nobody wanted,
Something that nobody wanted.
He could be the one talking and I would just be looking at him. And there were so many times because he used to repeat himself. Nick is never want to come up with a new story. The story was the same story every time. And once you've heard it about 10 times, you've heard it enough. Nick will say his story again and I'll be listening, watching him. And I used to fall asleep. So Nick is talking to the client, trying to kick me to keep awake while he's talking to the person.
You were sleeping while digging the well.
He's kicking me one leg. Well, I was waking up. I said, yeah. It's trying to settle the guy at the same time. And then we leave the place. And Nick was like, you were falling asleep. You were falling asleep again. And I'll be like, sorry, Nick. Sorry, I'm tired. Like, why is he gonna buy if you're falling asleep? He's not gonna buy. So trust me, if you wanna know about yourself, go into sales.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Clay, you see, one of the reasons why I'm laughing hard is because not only can I relate, but that last sentence that you said there, if you want to know about yourself, go into sales. Mr. Clay, is it not amazing that experience, I remember you going through that, and I went through that experience around the same time. But do you know, interestingly, that was us digging our well before we thirst. Do you know that the lessons we learned gave us an insight to the reality of how things really are, and gave us the arena to develop the skills that we need, that we are now using now, that is putting us in a better position that we would not have been if we did not go in that direction. Now, let me break that down very quickly. A lot of people, there's no business you're going to be on this earth. You're either going to be offering a service or product, features and benefits. Who are you going to be offering them to? To human beings, to people. Now, Mr. Clay, I know you were speaking to someone not too long ago who was trying to get you into a business, and one of his selling points is you don't have to talk to people. Huh? Everybody will want to run away from learning the skill, from learning the principle that works. They want to cut corners. Why are they running away? Because it's hard. Like you said, it takes energy to dig that well of learning how to deal with people. I was telling you today, Mr. Clay, I was saying, because of something that we're thinking about, we're thinking of opening another line of business. And what did I tell you, Mr. Clay? I said, we'll have to go and write a list of names.
Yep.
And start working through it.
Yep.
Even us. But what is different is what you told me, Mr. Clay. As soon as I said that, you said, yes, you're right. That's what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. We got to do what works. And what works is you learn the skill of dealing with people. People are the ones that are going to buy. But what most people do is they run. They run. I don't want to talk to people. Why? I don't want to get a no. We've been there. Mr. Clay is laughing because we've been there. There was a time when people used to tell me no, I'm like, it would take me 2 months to recover from one no. Someone tells me one no, I'm like, 2 months. 2 weeks of crying. 2 extra weeks of recovering. 2 weeks of talking about it. And 2 weeks of mustering the courage to go out there again. Then I will get another no. I'm like, I'm begging. We can laugh now because we've been through it. But thank God, I'm telling you this story. I'm now 50. But I learned that lesson in my 20s and 30s. That's when we started, in my 20s and 30s, they tell me, no. You know what I'm saying? Imagine me now at 50, they tell me no, and I'm like, oh. At 50 now, thank goodness of the price I've paid, nobody tells me no now. You know why? Because I've got to the point where my skill is at such a level that when they say no, they can't say no to me. They'll be saying no to their dreams.
To themselves.
They'll be saying no to their solutions. They'll be saying no to their progress. They'll be saying no to their to to what they need. So when they tell me no, I'll be like, okay.
That's you saying no to your solution.
That's you saying no to your dreams. That's you saying no to your, and I'm not saying that as like a curse or like a thing, you know. We may do a part 2 to this because I want us to really, you know, deal with these things and really make people understand, because when you follow us, you'll be able to really understand and read between the lines. That you get to a point where your level of skill, it will not be about you or them saying no to you. It will be about them saying no to the solutions that they need. And guess what? Even get to a point where even if I get a, I rarely get a no now. But even if I get a no, honestly, Mr. Clay, 90% of the time they will come back in the future.
Oh yeah.
And this time they're ready. They will not even, they will just say, yeah, do you know that thing? Do you still have it? I'm like, yeah. That's my business now. My business is now that when they call in the future and they say, do you still have that thing? My business is to make sure that I can say yes. So I can't lose now. But the reason why I'm in a position now where I am now is because I dug that well way before now. Mr. Clay, over to you, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, what you said there is very important, because when especially when we're talking in the world of network marketing, where there's no advertisement on TV or newspaper or anywhere like that, it's word of mouth advertisement. What's very important is people need to know that when they come across a product that is good, that is you that they remember with that product. So even if you show it to them, you might think they're saying no, but they're not going anywhere. They haven't got any solution. Somebody else will come to them with the same product and they'll say, you know what? They might not say anything because they know your track record. They know who you are. They might not say anything to that person, but they might say, you know what, if I'm going to do, I want to do this business because it looks good. But if I'm going to do it, I want to do it with him. I want to do it with Mr. Phil. I don't want to do it with you because I don't know you. I know Mr. Phil. You know? And because we've built up such a credibility over the years that people can now do that. Because I'm getting those phone calls. I'm getting people calling me and asking me, oh, I've got money. What should I invest in? You know, and I'm laughing to myself. What should you're calling me?
Who else are they gonna call? Think about it. Who else are they gonna call? You know?
And I said to that person today, I said, we're probably one of the last of the dying breed. I will tell you the truth and the fact as it is. We will not sell you a gimmick. We'll be very direct with the answer.
Okay.
Whether you don't take it, but we'll tell you the truth. So maybe when I'm gone, when Mr. Phil's gone, somebody else can come and tell you, you know, the castle in the sky. And then, you know, no, you don't have to deal with anybody. You know, you want to do the business, you don't have to do. It's like most people when they want to build a business, we always say this. The sale is the work. But they don't want to do that. They want to hire the building, get the logo done. It's all about the website. It needs to be international. You know, what other websites are like, that website, it needs to be on the same level. Cannot be a level below because our business is top. You know, we want to get everything just expense. You have to have a good business card, pretty one. When somebody sees your business card, they will say, wow, this guy is in business. You know? Then you need a shop front, you need the desk, you need the pretty woman in front of the desk. So when somebody comes into the office, they will just see, Bagam, Secretary of the Year, sitting there. You know, how can I help you? Now we're in business. You know? All of that has nothing to do with this. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
And the reason why it has nothing to do with business is because the sales through a business is like the heart to a body. The sales is what pumps cash flow into your business. Like the heart pumps blood to your organs and other parts of your body, your limbs, everything. So without the sale of your business going like this, ladies and gentlemen, you got nothing. But our natural thing is to run away from sales because it's not easy. Like Mr. Clay said, we're the one that will tell you the truth. So what we decided to do, because I don't know whether it's because I've got a coconut head, I don't know whether it's because I'm just stubborn, I just realized that that is the mountain to conquer. That's why we went into network marketing. That's why we went into sales. I realized that no matter what business I want to build in this world, that sales process, that is the mountain to conquer first. Not the website, not the card, not the company car with the logo on the side. None of that. Is this sales? Are you making the sales? Is your business pumping? Is it pumping? If it's not pumping, you've got nothing. You're just show for nothing. And that's why one of the reasons why, you see, one of the reasons why we endorse network marketing is this. And I unashamedly endorse network marketing. I know there are some network marketing that are good. I know there's some network marketing that are not good. And I know there's some network marketing that you make money. There's some network marketing that I invested many years in. I made nothing, but I gained a lot of experience. There's some network marketing that the experience I gained from one, I took it to another one, and I started making money like that. So regardless of whatever network marketing you get into, what I can guarantee you will learn is it will give you an arena to develop the skills that are real skills that make business work. So what am I saying? Someone that can build network marketing, I can guarantee you that person will be able to build any traditional business. But someone that has built a traditional business, this business may not, often not, will not be able to build network marketing. So it's almost like network marketing gives you the arena to really train your muscles for real for business. Meanwhile, the traditional business, guess what you need to start with? A lot of people, the first thing that you need is capital. And a lot of people get caught from that capital level. Capital. We were talking about Amazon the other day. It took nearly 15 to 20 years before they started showing profit. Do you have 15 to 20 years of money to pump into something? And we're not talking about small money. We're talking about astronomical money. Yeah? No, we don't have it. So that's where network marketing comes into play. Because with network marketing, you can start it with little or no money. And then it goes, there's the floor, there's the road. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what you can do. And that's network marketing. And then you go and you start realizing that, whoa, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like this, I like this. You start exposing what your deficiencies are. Because myself and Mr. Clay, when we started the journey, man, Mr. Clay was a teenager. I was in my early 20s. We used to sit there with notepad in meetings with pens taking notes. You know why? Because we've gone on the street and we've been battered. Then the only oasis we had was to go back to training. Then they will say, have you set your goals? Oh, I need to write my goals. Have you written your list? Oh, I need to write my list. Have you called your list? Oh, I have to call them. And we went through all that. Then we'll go to the street. The street will slap our head. We'll come back again with our notes. But we're digging our well then. Why? We were in a situation where we could afford to go to the street, get knocked back, come train, go to the street, get knocked back, come train, until we got good. What were we doing there? We were digging our well before we thirst. Mr. Clay.
Yes, yes. As you were talking, so many stories were just flashing through my mind. Of all
Please share. Please share.
All the times where we would be at the seminar. We'll be the youngest people at the seminar.
The youngest black people. And actually the youngest and the only two black guys. Sometimes maybe we have Julian with us, 3 black guys.
Guys, yeah.
And all we were doing there, we'll be clapping with our pens and who we clapping for? We're clapping for other people getting awards. We're clapping for other people making money. Were we getting awards? No. Were we making money? No. But we were in training. And who was paying for that training? We were paying for it. We were paying to go. And the only thing we can do is get there and put our Mr. Kelly, over to you.
And the amazing thing is money we were not making. Even to invite people to join us in the training, we couldn't. It wasn't even that. So to forget it, nobody was coming with us. And even to invite people to not to join the business, so just to come for the training, nobody was interested. But you look back now and you say, wow, I thank God that we paid that price. Because all those people that we were telling now, they're still around, most of them. And they wish they had the life that we have. They wish they have the understanding that we have. They wish they have the kind of people skills, the kind of emotional intelligence, and the kind of wisdom that we have. So it was money well spent.
Money and time well spent.
Money and
look,
time
ladies and gentlemen. Look, ladies and gentlemen. What you do? So see, even the fact that we can do this channel, a lot of you may appreciate the skill it takes to do this kind of channel. But take Mr. Clare, for example. One of the reasons why he's the only person that can do this channel with me is because of that journey. He was the only one with me in those trainings. He was the only one with me that we have the same stories to tell. There's no story that I will tell that he will not go, oh, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. I remember. But the key is this. Do you know how hard it is? Because a lot of you may not know. I only tell Mr. Clare the topic we're going to be talking about maybe 5 minutes before we come on live. I'll just say, Mr. Clare, we're going to be talking about this today. And he'll be like, ready. Why? Because he has dug the well. And I can be confident that whatever I say, he will just like, okay, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. The job has been done before. So if that was not the case, I will have to brief him. Oh, we're going to talk about this, then I talk about that, then you talk about this, then you talk about that. Don't talk about that. Oh. It cannot work. So some people may even ask, why 2 brothers? Why 2 brothers? You're the only, you're more than 2 brothers. You're 4 brothers. Why are the other 2? The other 2 did not come with us to the trainings. The other 2 did not dig the same well that we dug. Does it mean that we don't like them? Absolutely not. Does it mean that that they're not worthy? Of course, they're worthy human beings. Does it mean that they're not good in their own right? Of course, they're good in their own right, but they're not good on this journey. You can't fake it. What do I mean? If you don't know how to play the guitar, no matter how you want to use, they will give you the guitar we are playing. It will show whether you know how to play it or not. No matter, why don't you let me play the piano? Oh, okay, that's the piano. Oh yeah, play. Oh, why don't you let me be the head of the networking organization? I want to build my business. Okay, that's the business. Oh yeah, play. Mr. Claire, please.
No, it is it's humbling. I think what you say is that, when somebody is spending time to dig their well, it's not pretty. It's not a clean exercise. Nobody wants to join you. In fact, people wants to give you as much space as possible. People want to drink the water. Don't get me wrong, but nobody wants to dig the well. People want the water, but nobody wants that well
Want to
done.
dig the well. We're gonna do a part 2 today because there's some. I've just looked at my notes now and I can see in part 2 we're gonna be talking about how this fits to you guys in Nigeria. We're gonna be talking about things that have changed in the past that basically, if you've not dug your well, you'll be left behind right now. In part 2, there's so many things have been deregulated. Let me give you an example. Mr. Clay, you remember when TV stations were norm? It was only TV stations. It was BBC One, BBC Two over here, ITV, Channel 4, and Channel 5. And then before you knew it, it became cable. And then it went from 5 stations to 999 stations. Like that. And then the next thing that happened, I just noticed that ordinary people could now start owning stations. And because I watched Trends, I thought to myself that, something is happening here that I can't figure out yet. That was then when Ben TV came out. That was when Nigerians started buying TV stations here. I'm like, why are they selling these TV stations? You know why? Because YouTube technology was bringing YouTube where everybody. So those people that bought cable thought that they were buying into something. They didn't know that they're buying into something that the time has already gone for it. Mr. Clay, last words, then we'll come back for we'll round up and then we'll do part 2 some other time.
Yes, sir. So yeah, that was it. What you were saying there is so powerful. Because I remember those Ben TV times. I remember the Christian Channel times. I remember the times where they let everybody in, which is amazing. They always do that, right? When once the game, the landscape has changed, that's when all of a sudden everybody can come in now. Be like, what? And people that have been owning that dream of, one day I'm gonna have my own TV channel, would pay thousands, all their life savings to just get it, and then you find out that it's free. Actually, you don't need to pay that thousand. So it's a lesson to us all. It's a lesson to us all. That's me, Mr. Phil.
Sorry, I didn't cut you to stop you. Sorry, I didn't cut you to stop you. I just wanted to interject some words in there. The time, please come back. The time for hate had passed. And that is why they will let you in. So one of the things that I've learned on my journey is, like Mr. Clay said, when they're guarding something like that, and suddenly they now said, everybody come now, you can now come and do this. I've learned that the paradigm is about to shift. Now, I may not know where it's going to shift to, but I know that there's a paradigm shift. And that's why I didn't rush with them to go and buy a TV station, because I could have. That's why, like Mr. Clay said, Christian Channel came out, Ben TV came out, there was another African TV, they were coming out like that. Now, they're all defunct. And so, again, part of digging your well before you thirst is keeping track of these things. Mr. Clay, please come back and then we'll go.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. So now that we have the Two Brothers channel, without us selling our houses to get it. So it goes to show, and future trends, like my son the other day was asking me, where were you when Bitcoin was so cheap? How come you didn't buy any Bitcoin back in the day? And I just laughed. I said, watch out. There's going to be so many opportunities like that in the future. Try not to do the same mistake as your dad. So, back to you, Mr. Phil.
Thank you, Mr. Clay. I wouldn't actually even say it's a mistake. Because you see, one of the things I've learned again is this. The mistake that a lot of people make sometimes is that they think that the only opportunity is at the beginning. But it's like saying that, Coke, the only opportunity was Coke. Then Pepsi came out. Oh, that's Coke and Pepsi. Look, there are thousands of colas there. Another example is when banks, there's a place in London here where they call it bank. Reason why? Because each building beside each other is a bank. And all of them have their clientele, all of them have their... So, to be honest, opportunities like Bitcoin, when they come, they're here to stay. And even if they go, another one will come. So it's not really to try and catch an opportunity when the time is right for it. No. You're trying to do method then. No. Go with the principle. No. Sometimes, yes, you might hit. And if you hit, oh, well and good. But if you don't hit it at the beginning, guess what? The opportunity is still there. The principle, just use the same principle that never changed. Diligence, discipline, digging the well before you thirst. You extract the profit in that. You will never fail to extract it. The only reason why I'm not going into Bitcoin right now, to be honest, is because I have seen it's trading. It is trading. That's all it is. I have some Bitcoin, but it is trading. It is just, and trading is a lifestyle. A lot of people think, oh, I've got a lot of Bitcoin now, so I'm good. No, you're not good until you sell that Bitcoin. And what are you going to sell the Bitcoin for? For cash. So what are you really into it for? A lot of people go into Bitcoin because they say it holds more value than cash. Okay, fair enough. But the moment you turn it to cash, guess what? You're back to cash again. And then you go into the market, you might not get that rate again. So what are you doing really? What is the principle behind Bitcoin? The principle behind Bitcoin is trading. And trading, like we said, like the title of this episode is that if you have not dug your well in trading, don't expect your success in trading. Let me repeat that. If you've not dug your well in trading, don't expect your success in trading, because you see, trading, you have to have won and lost, You have to have learned how to make money when it's going down. You have to have learned how to, it's a study. Now, some people want to go in, oh, I want to buy low and sell high. Even the dog on the street knows how to do that. Even the cat on the street knows you want to. But knowing that that's what you want to do and achieving that takes study. It just doesn't. So some people kind of like think that, oh, maybe they're coming into something that, no, look, unfortunately with trading, when you start, it gives you some adrenaline. It gives you some high. It's like a cocaine on its own, because you go in, you're like, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. And you feel like a shark. But you don't know that you're shark food. You think, I'm a shark. Then you see another shark just come and I've seen so many people. So trading, to be honest, it's a study. It's a lifestyle. And so go into it. There's nothing wrong with it, but know that the principles still stand. You've got to be a student. You've got to be a master to succeed at it. So that's all I was going to say about Bitcoin for now. Okay. And apart from that, again, the principles still stands. You have to dig with your well before you thirst. We're going to end right here. Say goodbye, Mr. Clay.
Most definitely. See you guys next time, and enjoy. Back to you.
Thank you. See you guys next time. We're going to do a part 2. Look out for that. On that note, that's us. Gone. Peace. And we out.